apmnation.com.
Previously on Angry Drunk Tales.
Be angry. Me write angry emails.
Episode 8.
Narcissistic, lying bastard!
Really wants to spank
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Me still angry. Me continue to write long, rambling, drunken emails. Me continue to be angry over incident several weeks ago. Me have emotional intelligence of 5-year-old child. Me bitter and frustrated with myself over being drunken 300-pound tub of shit. Me undiagnosed paranoid schizophrenic. Me
Narcissistic, lying bastard!
Me write angry emails. Me hate everyone.
Welcome to episode 8 of Angry Drunk Tales. I'm Matt Connerton.
And I'm Jen Coffey, your co-host.
We are, of course, the former roommates of
Narcissistic, lying bastard!
And where we left off in our last episode of this story, we left off with
Narcissistic, lying bastard!
and his very sort of lovey-dovey gushing email about how much he loved living with us and how he thought we were just the greatest roommates ever. And
the only problem was
Napoleon Bonaparte.
and
Yes.
his belongings.
I thought there was a tinge of homoeroticism to it, though. I think he,
Bastard!
might have been hoping I would blow him.
Well, that's entirely possible because there was that evening that he was talking about how he used to use Tinder, or he still uses Tinder.
No, it wasn't Tinder. It was it was something similar though, like Meat something, Meat Shop or Meat Market or something.
Oh yeah, like MEAT,
Yeah,
meat,
something
yeah,
with meat
something
in
like
it.
that. And he had answered it, and it was a married couple, and the wife wanted to see the husband give a guy a blowjob, so he let the guy give him a blowjob while the wife watched. And he was, telling us about that. So we were pretty aware at that point that he perhaps, his doorway swung both ways. But you know what? That's his life, his choice.
We don't judge, but I did kind of wonder in that moment if he was hinting at something. Do you think maybe he wanted you to watch me blow him?
Oh, that's a horrific thought. Mm-hmm. It's a very horrific thought. I'm going to have nightmares over that. How could you say such a thing?
Still, though, it had to have occurred to you that maybe he might be hinting at that, or did it?
No, not at all.
It occurred to me, like, that night while he's standing there telling us this, I'm like, does he want me to blow him? I only swing one way, so I can't help you there.
Bastard!
Sorry. Maybe that's the real reason, by the way, for all the acrimony and animosity, is that I never blew him.
Maybe.
Maybe he was hoping one night I'd blow him while he was watching The Walking Dead. I bet
Or maybe
that
he
might
was
have been
hoping,
a fantasy.
or maybe that's, why he had problems with
Napoleon Bonaparte.
and Jesse, because neither of them would do so either.
That could be. Maybe he wanted to blow me, but I heard a rumor that he drags his teeth.
Oh.
Some dude named Ken told me that.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Oh,
so-
that's a terrible, terrible thing.
So that obviously wasn't an option.
Yeah, no, that's terrible, terrible, terrible.
Will alcohol make your teeth fall out?
I don't know.
Because I'm just thinking, maybe someday
Bastard!
it'll be gumming it. If you just drink so much that his teeth fall out.
Well, then maybe.
I mean, I
he'd
know it
get-
rots your liver. I don't know if it affects your teeth.
Oh, I'm sure his liver and his pancreas are screaming, but
Probably.
yeah, I mean, hey, anything's possible, and there's a lot of guys out there that would be happy to have somebody gumming it.
That's right. So when we left off in the last episode, we read the long email where
Bastard!
was gushing about how much he loves us, but within that email and all that lovey-dovey stuff, there was some foreshadowing about what's to come, and you'll see what I mean. But what we're going to do in this episode, episode 8, is we're going to finish off with
Napoleon Bonaparte.
his involvement in our story.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Is going to leave us finally entirely because there was a bit more back and forth between
Bastard!
and
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yes.
over his stuff.
Yes. Leading up to a really interesting thing that
Bastard!
did about
Napoleon Bonaparte.
the stuff, unbeknownst to anyone until after it had occurred.
Yeah, so basically, you know, I had been trying to keep things under control and trying to keep
Bastard!
from doing anything with
Napoleon Bonaparte.
this stuff, but he started, you know, putting it out in the hallway, putting stuff out on the street. I couldn't control the situation anymore. On June 10th,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
wrote to
Bastard!
and said, being that my lease is up in July and you illegally destroyed my stuff and changed the locks on my apartment, I'll be pursuing legal ramifications against you. Okay, so that was,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
which by the way,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
had no standing there. He had agreed to give up the lease as of June 1st. To
Bastard!
So
Bastard!
wrote back and said, your apartment, my lease says April 30th, which was when
Bastard!
it originally signed for when
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Yep.
agreed to release the lease the first
was
time.
a true statement. That
Yeah.
was actually the date that he signed a new lease.
Yeah. And then he said, you have had ample opportunity to get your stuff. What am I supposed to do? Store your shit forever? You have verified several times your intention to retrieve your stuff on various dates and have not followed through. As of now, your stuff is in the hallways. You haven't paid rent here in how many months? I forget. Whose name are the utilities in? Just get your shit. And then he wrote, you know, a couple of things are beginning to occur to me. First, you have no plan of action to get your stuff, except to try and scare others into keeping your shit here. And second, as a way to post on Facebook to your impressionable young friends how cool and how tough you are, to do legal action will mean multiple trips back to New Hampshire and legal costs. You are looking at spending $5,000 for less than $1,000 worth of shit. Yes, dude, the stuff you are concerned about is basically shit. Having it in the hallway is in fact too close to me, by the way. Saturday a.m., I will be renting a storage unit for the shortest period I can get. The keys and location of the unit will be in the back of the mailbox. I am tired of playing this game with you. I doubt it will ever end with you until your shit is gone or burnt or something. You have been here, 4 times already with the intention of getting your stuff? And still it's here? Your lease is done and was done twice over the last few months. Each time you gave trouble, it seems for just one simple reason. You had no plan to get your shit. So instead of asking for time, you choose to puff up your feathers and act like a big man. Little boy, take your shit and get out of everyone's life, please. No one wants your shit. But no one wants to keep storing it either. Puff your chest at me again in person, and I will knock you the fuck out. You threatened me once before. Next time you play that game, you will be on your ass, little boy. Again with the threats. And then in the next email, he writes just one sentence in all caps. And this is a practicing pacifist telling you have basically pissed me off enough to go against what I believe to be right. So then on June 13th at 10:30 a.m.,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
wrote to
Bastard!
today at 1 p.m. I'll be there with people to get my stuff. I highly doubt you'll have that police unit there, and I doubt you'll stop me from entering my apartment. I'm coming right now, and you will face legal consequences banning me from my apartment and stealing my stuff.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Of course, never showed up.
Nope.
Bastard!
Wrote back, as stated previously, your stuff is on the porch. or rather, the front hallway. But seeing as you have said you would be here 5 times in the past 2.5 months, I doubt you'll be here today either. And no, this is no longer your apartment. You relinquished your lease. A new one was signed. You have no legal right to enter this domicile. And then, later he wrote, well, again, no show, which leads me to believe that you think you are getting a rise out of me and basically passing this on to your little friends on Facebook and such to try to impress the easily impressionable. Your time is run out, bud. Heads up, you megalomaniac. And then later he wrote, and this is the longest one, referring to the landlord, wants you to get rid of your shit. He was quite adamant, telling me to have
Napoleon Bonaparte.
come get his stuff. So you have reached the level of patience and exceeded it that even a quiet, honest Vietnamese man is willing to endure. Your shit is no longer anyone's responsibility, legally or otherwise. You have failed repeatedly to follow through with getting it. At this point, there isn't anyone in their right mind who wouldn't consider it abandoned property and a nuisance to everyone concerned except you. Tomorrow night, I am working with a kid that asked about your TV. I intend to tell him to come get it, and anything else he might want. As far as your political sign holders go, I may take them to the recycling center and collect whatever they are worth in metal value myself. I bought a microwave and other kitchen stuff to replace the few things that you had here, so hopefully the kid I work with will take your microwave too. Your coat rack is not needed anymore either, nor your bed. The mattress was already thrown out, and someone took it off the sidewalk. Your couch ended up taken to the dump by... Seems no one really wanted a shitty green broken down couch. Bookshelves that TV sat on ended up being broken up by... and removed by the city. Same with the coffee table. Long story short, you snooze, you lose. You had over 2 months now to remove your stuff. No matter how you represent when you left, you are well past the legal limit of time that anyone needs to store your shit for. As far as threatening you, will get into this house. If you even knock at the door, then I will call the cops and report a crazy man beating on the door and threatening people. You no longer live here, and you have basically made yourself enemies with so many people, I question why you would want to come back anyways. P.S. I called Murphy's, Panucci's, and Wild Rover today to inform them that their ATM machines will be non-compliant come July 1st. So good luck selling your root or some such thing, too. See, the people that own these businesses, work there and manage them, I know a large number of them from having managed for over 15 years in this town. And I don't want to see any of them having legal issues just because you are a fucking gypsy piece of shit lying con artist. So that's the end of that. And then,
Yeah.
Bastard!
I had a disdain for people of gypsy descent for some reason.
well, here's the funny thing about that.
Bastard!
He used to tell me all the time that he didn't think
Napoleon Bonaparte.
was really Italian, but that he was a gypsy. And then one day, this totally coincidentally, I happened to see on
Napoleon Bonaparte.
his Facebook page, because he and I remained Facebook friends through all this, I just happened to see he posted something about, a lot of people think I'm Italian, but I'm actually Maltese. And then I'm like, Maltese? And then I said that to...
Bastard! Bastard!
It's like, yeah, that's a gypsy. Maltese, it's gypsy. And I'm like, holy shit, you were right. So
Bastard!
was actually right about that.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
That's very true.
So then
Napoleon Bonaparte.
writes this to...
Bastard!
I filed a claim against you in Manchester court. I need to serve you. When are you home? That was strange for a number of reasons, not the least of which this was late on a Saturday night that
Napoleon Bonaparte.
sent this email. So on a Saturday, he flew all the way here to the court in Manchester, which happened to be open on a Saturday, and filed a lawsuit that didn't make any sense. And then this, when are you home?
Yeah,
That's
to a guy who's always home
Doesn't
and
work
only
that
not
way.
home on Wednesday and Sunday nights and occasionally on Fridays
Yeah.
when he would go be a cook.
Doesn't work that way. You don't ask,
How do you go
ask
from
the
being
person.
a manager to a cook?
I don't know, but you don't ask the person being served, when are you home?
Right?
And then, like that doesn't make any sense.
No.
So, yeah, I don't think he understands how that
And
works.
actually, being somebody who's actually had to have somebody serve before, you have to do it during the weekday.
Yeah.
You have to get the approval of a judge first, and then you have to pay, I believe it's $250 to have a sheriff go and serve the papers, because they can't just be served by anyone. And these are all things that happen during normal business hours, Monday through Friday. If you know a court that's open on a Saturday and sheriff's offices that will serve simple court orders, let me know.
Yeah. So this was
Bastard!
his response. Just to let you know, I took all of your shit to the West Side. You have no legal claim over me, asshole. I've given you 2 months to get your shit, and you keep making excuses. You filed the claim, and you will lose. While you do that, I'm going to encourage Matt, Jen, and Angela to arrange lawsuits because you represented yourself as subletting, which is 100% illegal in Manchester. In fact, I'm pretty sure it's illegal in New Hampshire. Want to go head-to-head on this, asshole? You will lose. I have been holding on to your shit to be nice, but you want to play it like this. All of your stuff is now out on the street on the west side of Manchester. At one point, I was even going to pay out of my own pocket to store your shit. Ask Matt, Jen, and Angela. I was willing to do that. But you are such a megalomaniac fucking nut job that I am sick of dealing with you. Take me to court, asshole. I have no issue with that. Want to serve me? I am home every fucking day, mostly. But in small claims court, that's not even necessary. If you are even telling the truth of this, you can just send me the papers. So I suspect you are once again lying about shit, but that lie is the last straw for me. Everything you have left will be disposed of on a curb on the west side tomorrow. I am sick and tired of dealing with an obvious sociopath. I am tired of your games. Want to be a real man? Then call me out for a fight, and let's see who's still standing after. But of course, I suspect you are the kind of loser that if I put you over my knee and spank you like your parents should have when you were a kid, then you will want to call the cops. Grow the fuck up, little man. Yes, little man, as in tiny, petite, and useless with a small cock and all. You are the definition of a sociopathic loser, little man. Grow the fuck up. Act like an adult for once in your life. People laugh at you, asshole, for how self-important you are. Maybe trying to be a normal, responsible human being, just maybe, that would serve you far better in life than lying to people and misrepresenting yourself. Liars only get so far in life. People respect honesty and candor and decency. I could have been even more accommodating if you had been decent and honest. So why don't you show up today? Are mommy and daddy tired of your paying your airfare and such? Or maybe your grandmom on your mother's side? Are you running out of people that you can deceive and misrepresent yourself to? It seems this way to me. As I know, if I was leaving the state, I have several friends in several states who would be willing to help me move my stuff or store it. So where are all your friends, your family? Maybe it's a good time for you for some self-reflection of why you have no people to lean on when you need a favor and such. Grow up, little man. Of course, I am well aware that you could not have smiled a small claim suit on me on a fucking Saturday. So it seems to me you are a pathological fucking liar. Most felons are, I have learned in my life. You know what, we could end this pretty easily. Just show up here and ask me to throw, and I will tear you the fuck up. I am a pacifist, or I try to be. But at this point, every single reason why I turned to pacifism is out the window with you, little man. When I was your age, I was very, very, very violent. I even once left a man bleeding in a public restroom after I repeatedly smashed his face into a urinal. To this day, I don't know if he was alive when I left. It was that bad. And that's what turned me to pacifism. My rage was too much. You are now bringing that out of me again. You cannot beat me in a fight or in any other way, lawsuit or anything. I have given you more opportunity to get your shit than anyone ever would. Tomorrow it will all be gone. And you know what? I just want the opportunity to beat the shit out of you for all of the aggravation you have caused me over the last few months. So go ahead. Show up at my home. Knock on my door. You are more likely than not to be met by a Louisville slugger when I answer the door. Jen wants to answer your knock with a gun on her hip. Me, I want to show how pathetic you really are. And as an old man, beat your ass down. So come to my door and start hurling threats and demands to come in and such. I am done with this game, little man. I will smack you down and spank your bald fucking head after spanking your ass. As your parents should have done when you were a spoiled-ass kid, you megalomaniac sociopath with narcissistic personality disorder. Want to come to my door with threats and demands? I will beat you to a fucking pulp, little man. Dude, you finally crossed that line for me when I was willing to accept your bullshit and cross into an area I have tried for years to avoid. Please, please come to my house and make demands and threats. Please do so. I will leave you dead on the sidewalk after smashing your head repeatedly into the pavement. You found the rage I have kept suppressed for years. Start threatening me and banging on my door, and find out how much I have lost my patience with you, asshole. Yes, please give me the opportunity to defend myself against a crazy person beating on my door with threats and accusations and such. Please do that. I will leave you unconscious and dead or nearly dead on my stoop after it's done, because you just brought out my rage, a thing that I had gotten rid of in my 30s. I used to be when I was younger, when I went out and didn't get laid, then I would look for a fight instead. You really want a piece of me, little man? You will either end up dead or you will spend the rest of your life eating through a tube. So come on, little man, stop making empty threats and such. You want to prove something? Come see me and see nothing else afterwards. Prove to me you are the big man you think you are, instead of the little man everyone knows you are. I've had enough of this game. Come see me and get your 26-year overdue spanking your parents should have given you, you spoiled little man-child. And then
Bastard!
emailed to
Napoleon Bonaparte.
the link to the Craigslist ad regarding his
Well,
stuff.
let's stop right there for just a moment. I
Yeah.
think it's important to note that when we woke up and read that email, I immediately went to
Bastard!
and let him know in no uncertain terms that I did not approve of him including me in that email or using
It's criminal threatening.
the fact wearing a firearm on my hip.
Yeah.
That it was absolutely inappropriate,
Yeah.
and I wanted no part of that type of thing, and to not ever put me in an email like that again.
Yeah, absolutely. And then we have a little bit more after he sent him the Craigslist ad. He said this. Pretty sure that covers everything. We are done, asshole. Go ahead and sue me. You will lose. And even if you win, try collecting from me. For a felon, you are terribly ignorant of the law. I can not pay you forever and still have no repercussions. You are aware of that, aren't you? A lawsuit is basically a joke. It's non-enforceable in most cases. You already lost, asshole. But because you have been such an asshole, I've tired of playing your game. So fucking sue me, loser. It's an empty threat, and I recognize it as such. It does not scare me in the least, little bald man. You take too many drugs if you think anything you can do scares me in the least bit. A lawsuit is only worthwhile if you have a chance of collecting. As far as that goes, you are already way outside of what the law requires me to do. And even if you won by 1,000,000 chance, try collecting, asshole. I owed DirecTV $15K for 10 years off a lawsuit. Eventually, it got overturned along with millions of dollars. But the point is, I never paid them a dime for 10 years. Try collecting from me, asshole. Good luck with that. You really need to know the law better, by the way. You cannot attach wages or anything even close. Even if you won the case, you would have no recourse to force me to pay. So go ahead, sue me. Have fun with that. Over what, $500 worth of property? You are a fool. So
Napoleon Bonaparte.
your stuff will be all gone tomorrow. Fuck you, buddy. The only reason now for you to come back here is to take me up on my offer. Call me out, and let's throw down, little man. Your stuff is already gone. Oops, someone just showed up and took your TV. So sorry about that, bud. But I kept telling you for nearly 2 months what would happen. Oh, someone just took your microwave, too. Might have been the same guy. No way of telling. Goodbye.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Your leverage is gone, so sue me if you wish. You stand no chance of winning, by the way. And even if you did, try collecting. Fuck off, little boy, man. You must have known my patience would eventually wear thin and I would call your bluffs. Well, I just did, asshole. There is no reason now for you to even come back here except to sue me. And good fucking luck with that. What does it cost you to keep flying back here, by the way? Oh, I forgot. Mommy and Daddy probably pay for that. Don't they, you spoiled little man-child? Mommy and Daddy should have spanked you more, and then maybe you wouldn't be as screwed up as you are now. Please, please, please sue me, asshole. Your case is laughable, and at the end it will cost you more than your shit was even worth. So please sue me. I have model numbers for your stuff and can prove what the real value of it was and such. Please sue me, asshole. Please sue me or come here and call me out, one or the other, as I am so worked up now, finally to tear you up in any way I can. Done, done, and done with your games. My very last response to you, and now I am blocking you from contacting me anymore. Just so you know,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
I have marked any further correspondence from you as skip inbox and delete. We are done. Goodbye, asshole.
And we need to point out that the link that you referred to the Craigslist ad that
Bastard!
took it upon himself to do was some kind of a posting telling people the address. All of
Napoleon Bonaparte.
his belongings were now in the hallway. He unlocked the front door and basically posted a list of what was there and told people it was free, come and get it.
Yeah, come and take whatever's in the hallway. So what ended up happening was, because he didn't say on the second floor,
Right.
he neglected to include that, the idiot. So what ended up happening was the landlord met a bunch of stuff in the first floor hallway, and guess what went missing? A bunch of stuff.
Right.
People were coming in and taking it because the idiot
Bastard!
posts this Craigslist ad, and I'm sure he was drunk when he posted it.
Right.
Oh, come, just take whatever's in the hallway.
The timestamps on the emails probably validate that as well.
Yeah.
But absolutely. But yeah, he didn't put second floor. Then we actually had to intervene and had to go down there and lock the door and, try and stop people. Just try to do something because it was like this mad rush of people showing up that saw this ad and they were ready to clean him out.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
And he had quite a few things in the hall, neatly put there for him and his family.
Yep, yep. Ridiculous.
Very.
I would also point out, too, it seems that
Bastard!
it has a bit of a fixation with, just like I speculated, I think
Bastard!
may have secretly wanted me to blow him. I'm pretty sure he also desperately wanted to spank.
Napoleon Bonaparte.
Or
That
be
seems-
spanked.
He seems to be really fixated on taking
Napoleon Bonaparte.
his over his knee and spanking him. Wanted to spank the bald little guy.
There seems to be a theme running through this that he has some kind of a fixation with the rear end of males.
Yeah, because like at the end of the email when he says, "I am so worked up now to finally tear you up in any way I can," I think he wanted to penetrate
Napoleon Bonaparte.
his asshole.
I think that's entirely possible.
I think that's pretty much what he meant.
It's entirely possible, but we can only hypothesize.
Yeah, absolutely. So, and with that,
Napoleon Bonaparte.
officially, finally exits our story.
He does.
That is the end of
Napoleon Bonaparte.
and we're on to the next chapter. So that will conclude episode 8. And in episode 9, it's everything changes.
Shit hits the fan.
This is the biggest story arc of the series thus far. So remember, if you have roommates, ask yourself, does one of them want to spank you and fuck you in the ass and send you emails? Good night.
Night.
Be angry.
IPMNation.com.